I'm going to tell you more about my haunted house. In my last video, I was telling you about the little jars that we found everywhere, and it just wouldn't be a story time with me unless I brought receipts. So we were finding this type of thing absolutely everywhere, and this was the most recent one we found, which is obviously been in here for ages because this was 2023. These jars were all completely different, so some of them just had like herb looking stuff, others had salt, one had red sticky looking stuff. I mean, God knows what that was. When the builders would find them, they would just chuck them in the skip, and a few of them smashed. It really hadn't crossed my mind that they could be anything witchcraft related or anything strange. But when I would find one, I would just always go and put it in the garden. I wouldn't smash it. I wouldn't throw it in the bin. I just didn't want it in the house. But I knew I shouldn't break it, which is weird because I had no idea what they were. For all I knew, they could be like a little jar of homemade jam. My gut told me, don't smash it. I did mention this in my last video, but one of our builders lost somebody very close to them, and the other builder got very sick with pneumonia. That could be a coincidence, but my eldest child started to cry in the middle of the night, and I'd go into his room and he'd be like hidden underneath the quilt. When I would go to get the quilt off him, he would scream. And even when he saw it was me, he would like scream until I spoke to him. He told me that somebody was coming into his room and pretending to be me. The reason that he could tell it wasn't me is because my voice was different. It was like deeper. All of a sudden made sense because the weeks beforehand, he'd be asking questions like, why do adults sometimes dress up? Like, oh, like for Halloween? And he was like, no, but why do people dress up as each other and wear each other's faces? Assuming he means like a mask. I don't know. I don't know what I thought he meant, but I mean, he was 5. I've already seen the video that I put in, the clip of him speaking. If you've got really good ears, you can actually hear him say the name Tom. I kind of assume it's just somebody at school. But when I ask him, does Tom go to your school? He tells me no, Tom hides, and Tom's the little boy that hides in our house. But Tom is a shadow and he doesn't have a face. Go on to describe loads of different people. So there was the lady that pretended to be me. There was a guy with dark hair, which I assume is like the previous owner's brother. Tall guy in a top hat who comes and plays chess. And again, he's 5. He has no idea what chess is. But he actually says the word chess and says that he doesn't want to play chess anymore. Then the power of go in our house. I'm going to insert a video. So that's the one bulb outside his bedroom, still there. All the other ones are completely gone. This is my side table light. Doesn't work. The bulbs would just constantly go. Things would just randomly explode. Like the electricity was just constantly like surging. Weird. Every bulb in his room would just constantly blow. Sometimes the light in our room would work. Sometimes it wouldn't. Like despite having a bulb that works, sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it would just randomly go on its own. Then we had the leaks. And they were always predominantly in the playroom. One time where there was just this random wet patch and we got a plumber around and he was like, I don't know why this keeps happening because there's just no pipe behind this wall that could be doing this. And it wasn't Kiki with her toilet water, I'm pretty sure. Another thing we had was we got the whole house painted, and then one day I'm laying in bed and I look up towards the ceiling and I just see these random handprints up high. Like you can just about see them there, but can you see it's like a full-on adult man's handprint? And we had just painted the room and it was just way too high for it to be the kids. My other half really doesn't believe in any of it. Like he would get so mad with me when I'd be like, I'm genuinely concerned. He was like, not interested, don't want to hear it. Like honestly would have sectioned me if I kept talking to him about it. I just go on kind of living with these weird things happening, reassuring the kids that it's not real, although I know 100% that it is real. Start shutting certain doors because it's like I can feel people watching me when I walk past the bathroom. So I shut those doors at the night time. One night we're in bed, my husband's like fully asleep. I am kind of drifting in and out of sleep, and all of a sudden he sits bolt upright. Out of nowhere, our bedroom door is open and you can see the bathroom, and he says someone's in that bathroom. And I'm like, I know damn well, I know that there's a guy in that bathroom, like I know it, but how do you know? Really strange. Out of nowhere he just sits up, he goes and looks in the bathroom and he's like, that's so weird, like the door on the bathroom is shut, why did I think I saw somebody? Like he's been asleep. Like, yeah, I'm confirming that this is real. I hadn't been talking to anybody about what had been going on. And one day my mother-in-law was upstairs with the kids She watches them some days, and when I came home, she was like, have you ever seen anything in your house? We have never spoken about spirits, ghosts, nothing. She said, it's really weird. I was coming down the stairs and I just felt like someone was behind me. Yeah, that's just our house guest. Yeah. I got in contact with one of my friends, which I said in my previous video. The messages there are just the things that I would constantly send her day to day. She taught me how to cleanse the house. Honestly, there's so much. I had to do so much. Now I just like incorporate it into like how you would brush your teeth or how you would wash your hair. I will just go around and do those things. It does help. But my family are too scared to be in the house on their own. When they have been in the house on their own or with me, they're like, can you hear that? And yeah, I can 100% hear it, but I've got to the point where I just ignore it. Sometimes I will just chat. You know I love a chat, as if they are my mates, and it seems to work. It seems to keep them on side. My friend, she did some like work her end, like protection spells, and she was able to see what was going on, and she thinks that it was a mum maybe lost her son, trying to pretend to be me and like look after my son, but my son knows his mum, and so that must have been very scary for him. So to that bitch, I really told her where to go. Like Tasha told me, you've got to be stern with them as if there was a stranger coming in your house. And yeah, that seems to have worked. Already know I don't like confrontation, but I will drag a bitch, even if she's a ghost, if she upsets my son. That's a fact. I had held off doing these videos because, number one, I don't want to re-stir any trouble. I don't want to piss anyone off. I don't know if ghosts have TikTok, but also because just the fear of looking a bit crazy too early. But until it happens to you, I don't understand until it happens. To this day, I haven't, that I can think of, actually seen something, which is the weird part. It's just that feeling. But yeah, if you do ever find one of those little jars, it's a spell jar, leave it alone, or go and bury it somewhere where it won't be broken, it won't open, and stop messing around with Ouija boards and stuff. If you have no idea what you're doing, just stop.